Good. Well, good morning, and welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living Paradise here in our Zoom Sacred Sanctuary and on Facebook Live. I'm Molly Millay, a member of your Board of Trustees and part of the prayer ministry here, and we are so glad that you've joined us this morning. We bless and respect the diversity among us as we honor all paths that lead to God. And we teach spiritual principles and tools to deepen your relationship with the infinite source. And we like to say there is only one life. That life is God's life, and that life is my life now. So welcome, welcome. I have a few announcements before I introduce our guest this morning. The first announcement is about an event that we're offering on Thursday, August 12th from 2 to 4 p.m. And this event is going to be on Zoom and in person at the Lotus Guide. And it's called Dream and Draw. Just as our dreams rising from the subconscious take many forms, so does the way that we draw. There's no one right way or wrong way to create form and color on paper. So we are going to gather for the pure joy of being together and to honor the flexibility that we have developed over the past, it's even more than 17 months now. So save that date. And then save the date of August 28th, which is a Saturday in the evening, because we are having a celebration of life for our beautiful Julie at the Paradise Community Park. And the park will be ours starting at 5 o'clock, and the service is going to begin at 6 o'clock. Jay would like the dress to be picnic casual and definitely encourages tie-dye and Hawaiian prints. It's going to be BYOE, bring your own everything. You bring a picnic blanket, bring chairs, bring food and drinks. Alcohol is allowed, so you can bring wine or beer if you like. And well-behaved dogs are always welcome at the park. So we really hope that you can join us to celebrate Julie's extraordinary life. And there'll be a Facebook event page going up probably next week, hopefully. So keep that on your calendar, please. And Reverend Christine is enjoying some well-deserved vacation time. And we are delighted to welcome back our guest speaker, Reverend Elizabeth Cantey, who is joining us from Florida this morning. Raise your hand, Elizabeth. There you are. Thank you so much for being here. She is spiritual director for the Centers of Spiritual Living, Jacksonville, Florida. And she's also the founder of Enlightened Every Day, an organization with the intent to inspire people to live enlightened lives through spiritual practices, integrating spirit and mind and body. And she's dedicated to bringing enlightened consciousness into all our activities of daily life. And her talk today will be True Source of Joy. And we are so delighted to have you here, Reverend Cantey. And this morning, we're going to start out with an opening song from Rod, and then we'll go into an opening treatment by Reverend Cantey. Thank you, Rod.
Good morning, sweet spirits. Join me in focusing in on our heart. Change my heart, oh God, make it ever true. Change my heart, oh God, may I be like new. Change my heart, oh God, make it ever true. Change my heart, oh God, may I be like new. God is the potter, I am the clay. Mold me and lead me. This is what I pray. Change my heart, O God. Make it ever true. Change my heart, O God. May I be like new. God is the potter, I am the clay. Mold me and lead me. This is what I pray. Change my heart, O God. Make it ever true. Change my heart, O God. May I be like you. May I be like you. And so it is.
And so it is. With that beautiful song and prayer, I invite you to just close your eyes. If that's comfortable for you, sitting upright and taking our attention away from all that is out there into our heart, into that heart space that is unbounded, where we know that God is all that there is. It is right here, it is right now, it is in these words, it is in this communion of us coming together to celebrate all of this and so much more. We celebrate all that we are, this incredible heart space, where we learn that we are the clay, we are molded truly by the love and the peace and the joy, the wisdom and the intelligence that God is as and through us. All of this comes forth in this meeting that we call this celebration service. We recognize that where two or more are gathered, there is a deepening, a quickening, a realization where we make things even more real in our life. The reality of spirit, living and breathing, seeing and walking and experiencing as each of us. There is only one life. It is God's life. It is joy and peace and power, wisdom and intelligence, creativity and unconditional love. And it is my life right now. It is your life right now. And let us celebrate this together. We honor this by saying yes, and so it is. Amen.
And let us continue, eyes closed if you like, taking refuge in that inner stillness this morning. Continuing to deepen our sacred partnership with our inner wisdom, our source awareness. Dropping our shoulders, unclenching, loosening our face, our bodies, softening and opening our hands. Having a slight smile on our lips. Allowing our whole body to soften and our hearts to open, coming to rest in the here and the now. The mystics through the ages teach of our true belonging and essential oneness with the divine light and the fundamental unity underlying all that exists. Sometimes when we get overwhelmed with worldly activities, we can lose the remembrance of our oneness. And to restore that sense of connection with the whole, we can realign ourselves, with each other, with nature, which is all God through our contemplation, our prayer, and our meditation. The mystical knowing is available to each of us as we wake up to the truth of our divinity and our interbeing with the whole. And as Thich Nhat Hanh tells us, we are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. So just place your awareness on the natural flow of your breathing. Not worrying about the currents of thought or emotion or sensation that flow by. Just feeling a sense of peace as you settle into the waves of condition and feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath as it brings you deeper into stillness. Just rest in fullness, abiding with peace and contentment and joy. But when we hold ourselves in loving awareness and compassion, we access that vast open field of love that holds us all. And that source energy flows in and through us and as us with each breath. So allow these words to wash through you and seep into the depth of your core. Source is lovingly connecting with you always. So you might imagine with these words that source, that God, that energy is speaking to your heart with these words. I am who you are. Throughout your eternity of lessons and blessings, I have always been with you and shall always remain. I am forever assisting you. And every experience is here for your benefit. I am within you, even in your seeming loneliness. My love for you is unconditional, unbounded, and eternal. I am your source of infinite light, divine inspiration, and universal transcendence. When you wish to go beyond your mortal reach, I empower you. For you are far greater and more powerful than any of your earthly challenges. We are one, for I am in you and you are in me, no separation. You need only believe in your own inner light. The truth of the universe is oneness. It is whole and complete and divine. And you are that. So go forth now into your day, knowing that you are blessed. Shine brightly in joy. Namaste.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Beautiful. Wow. I could just go home now. Wait, I am home. I'm just in a wonderful space. I thank you for all who participated in providing this wonderful, incredible space in which we get to share. And we're going to talk about that space, that place of our source of true joy. And I mentioned earlier before many of you came on that I had a different talk this week, but with all the events, with all the things that are happening in the world, I've been kind of shocked and a little overwhelmed, my system, getting caught up in these circumstances and events. And when that happens, I get this nagging, I don't know what the word is. It's this nagging idea that I have to return to source. And for me, my expression of God looks like joy. Like for me, that's it. And I know for many others, it will look like peace or unconditional love for Mother Teresa or someone. It looks like a power or different kinds of things for all of us. But for me, it's joy. And I've just been called back to once again explore and experience and know without a doubt my source of true joy. And what started this little journey was a quote from Jack Kornfield. And it was that the whole purpose of Buddhist psychology is the discovery that freedom and joy are possible in the face of the sufferings of human life. By neither grasping nor resisting life, we can find wakefulness, which is enlightenment, and freedom in the midst of our joys and sorrows. And it just reminds me that the joys and sorrows of life are always happening. Life is constantly changing and morphing into something else. And living enlightened does not mean that we are not affected by the changes in life, but it does mean that we are not, it means that we're more in tune with the flow of the changes than getting stuck in them. And neither grasping nor resisting, we're present. And we have this sense deep within us of that which is never changing, that which Molly was talking about in the meditation, that which is never changing. And sometimes we call this presence within peace. And sometimes it's that deep and abiding unconditional love. And sometimes we call it joy. And when we connect to it, we flow through life like a river around, the boulders and the rocks. No matter what is happening in the world outside of us, we stay connected and in tune with this ever-present peace and love and joy. So many times we're looking for happiness. Where is it? What is it? Where is it located? I know if I'm at work, sometimes I need a break. I just walk outside to feel the sunshine on my skin and look at the garden and listen to the birds, and I'm happy. Is happiness in nature? And often, of course, we find ourselves looking for happiness in a partner or children, siblings or friends. We call them up, looking to tell them a story or ask them how they are, because we know that communing with them will lighten and brighten our day. Is happiness in relationships? And, in these past weeks, I find myself looking for happiness in the strangest places. I'm just sitting here alone and I think of my favorite childhood dish, chicken pot pie. And I'm going to the store shopping for all the ingredients, and I'm going to make my grandmother's recipe for chicken pot pie. And I know it'll make me happy. And while I'm at the store, I'm going to get some chocolate mint chip ice cream, and I know that'll make me really, really happy. So, is happiness in food? When I'm sitting alone and I feel this call of the distractions outside, I'm wondering, what should I do next? What would make me happy? And I run through a list. Should I call someone? Do I have a favorite show recorded? Or are there any good books I haven't read? Are any of my friends available to cheer me up? Is there any chocolate mint chip ice cream left in the freezer? We look for things to make us happy. We decide to drive a Tesla because, well, it's cool. It plugs in and it saves the environment, and we think it'll make us happy. Or I know someone who drives a VW van because it's cool. And he's going to drive this icon of joy and happiness until it disintegrates, because he's reusing, recycling, rebuilding, and that makes him happy. An artist creates because it makes her happy, and a musician plays because it makes him happy. And of course, like you, I've come to realize that whenever we want anything out there, even whatever it is, it's ultimately because we think it will make us happy. As humans, we're seeking happiness 24/7. Why? I think because inherently inside, deep within, we know we are meant to be happy. We're meant to be happy. I mean, the truth is we are created to be happy, and it doesn't come from outside circumstances. We know at the Centers for Spiritual Living, we discover the source of our true happiness comes from within, and that can never be disturbed, diminished. It's not dependent on anything we do or say or buy, or participate in. But when we realize our true nature is joy, we are changed. We are changed. We are not the same person that's looking outside all the time. We're flowing with life. The sense of any separation from our happiness, from peace, from source, that sense of separation is severed, and we constantly can feel the connection to joy, to peace, to love. Now, does that mean we won't choose to drive the Tesla or the VW van or create art or play music or make chicken pot pie? No, we choose and we create. But instead, now we are the fullness of ourselves, and we bring joy and happiness into our activities, events, relationships, our purchases, right? Our food choices. We're no longer seeking happiness. We're bringing happiness into all of our activities. And when we can no longer drive the Tesla or the VW van or create art or music, we aren't unhappy. We go with the flow. Because those activities, again, they didn't bring us happiness. We brought our happiness to these activities. And when we have to, when we're forced from whatever situation or circumstances are going on to change our activities or the situations, events, and relationships in our lives, we can still bring our sense of wholeness and fulfilledness, which is joy, into the next circumstance, whatever it may be. When we come to realize again and again that happiness is a quality of our essential self, our true nature, we understand it's always available. It's not, I have to take that back. It's not available. It is who and what we are. And when we realize this, we don't become happy, because how do you become that which you already are? But we recognize it, we recognize it, or we remember it. And it's a daily, or even sometimes with the events and situations that we read about in the news, or that's happening with our family or ourselves or our children, we have to remember it every moment to connect with that source. When we stop looking for happiness outside of ourselves, it doesn't matter what we do, what friend group we're around, what we're participating in. Doesn't matter what's for dinner, that's for sure. We stop looking, and instead we bring that sense of joy and wonder and awe. Molly mentioned that in the meditation, that sense we had as children when we first looked at, butterflies and dragonflies and minnows and raindrops. And we bring that sense of awe and wonder and deep joy to anything we do. We are the revealers of the source of happiness and joy, fully connected. And it doesn't mean, as we know, looking at the news or conversing with our friends or family, that events don't come along and challenge us. Hurricanes happen, and we need to pack up and evacuate if you live in North Florida, as I do. Illnesses come, and we need to deal with doctors and hospitals, red tape, insurance, pain. Pandemics come, and we need to deal with change and loss and grief. And yet these are all the events that are happening outside of ourselves that are reminding us, they're urging us and encouraging us that there is yet still more. We have access to peace, to power, to harmony, while we are neither grasping nor resisting life, but acknowledging what is. When we're going about our everyday life's challenges, we have access to unlimited joy. And you can substitute that word for your word, the word that empowers you: strength, power, wisdom, intelligence, anything, health, wealth, well-being. We have access to that which is never disturbed by circumstances, never lessened. It's never obscured by the events or the relationships or situations. And we can do this right now. As a matter of fact, we did it a few minutes ago. We can just feel the presence of joy that is in our breathing. Can you feel it right now? It's in our heart beating. There is joy in our hair growing, in our eyelids fluttering. There is a joy within us that is like a fountain that has an eternal source and can never be turned off. It can, however, be squashed. Is that a good word? Restricted, as we pile on our fear and our doubt and our worry that are related to the outside events. But happiness is, and there is no opposite. Rupert Spira says, happiness is not the opposite of unhappiness any more than the blue sky is the opposite of the clouds. Just as The clouds are a veiling or a blocking of the blue sky. So happiness is simply the veiling or the blocking of our happiness. Unhappiness is a blockage to what is always there and available. When we look for joy outside of ourselves, we know, we all of us here, we know that we may or may not find it. But it is certain when we find it in the chicken pot pie, in the laughter with the grandchildren, in the new job, each of those things and situations pass, and that joy subsides, and we're left searching again. But when we place our attention, like we've done today, on this simple process of placing our attention on our true nature, the source of our happiness, our joy, our peace, our clarity, we know that joy is the essence of our being. Sadness, fear, doubt, worry, they come. We never deny anything that comes up in our lives. If there's a hurricane warning or a diagnosis of illness, we do what we need to do. We prepare, we take part in the activities that are required. But we never have to lose our source while we're doing it. If we lose our job, we take the necessary steps to find another job. But rather than focusing on fear, doubt, worry, we can actually take the same steps, like updating our resume, reaching out to people and friends, posting on job sites, but we can do all of this, all that we need to do in a joyful manner, or a peaceful manner, or a powerful, empowered manner, which looks and feels and is, by the way, received a lot differently than a fearful manner. So joy is not in the activities or the relationships or the processes. It's who and what we are and the manner in which we participate in these things, how we participate in all of life. We stop waiting for life to bring us the things that make us happy, and instead we recognize ourselves as the source of joy, and we are happy even as we deal with. We can name all the things we're dealing with. Ernest Holmes said, all power, all wealth, all of everything that the human mind holds worthwhile is worthless without happiness. There is no success in life without happiness. Without joy, all living is a failure. Because we're really not living, are we? We're reacting. We're spending a time in the situations and events and circumstances, and not in love and peace and joy and compassion. Enlightenment is the end of the search for happiness outside of ourselves. The enlightened realize that happiness is their essential being. And I do want to point out, I am not talking about an extraordinary joy, just like I'm not talking about an extraordinary peace. I'm not talking about nirvana or bliss. You know, people use these words and it sounds so exotic and uncommon, enlightened, like we're just oming through life, not affected by the fires or the floods or the tornadoes or the illnesses. Of course, that's not, I don't know what that is. We're not talking about the exotic and the uncommon, but joy is truly the most natural thing. The ordinary joy of being, just being, just standing in awareness. The awareness that I am I am who thou art. Thou art who I am. In the midst of it all, joy is available. So we know, of course, we're living, breathing proof that you just turn on the news, talk to a friend, walk outside, walking the dog, and your neighbors come together and they're going to tell you something has changed. The situations and circumstances will come and go, but that which is experiencing the change is this eternal self, the changeless, the formless, the unlimited, unbounded, timeless, and spaceless. This is what we know of ourselves in the stillness and the silence. And this is what we bring forth into our space and our time. You know, we have these wonderful tools at our centers, the meditations, the mindfulness, the classes. We have groups, we come together like this and we celebrate the remembrance of how we choose to live our life, how we bring more and more joy and peace and love into our lives. We celebrate each other, we uplift each other in this, we remind each other. And Ernest Holmes said, one of my favorites, there will never be more of God, abundance, health, or happiness than is available to us today. And I'll add right now. And the only time we can experience this is today, right now. We have to encompass right now in our thought all the good we can ever hope to experience. For out of that comes the joy of our life today and the pattern for our experience tomorrow. So he's talking about that idea of practicing the joy, the presence right now, today, because we're setting ourselves up to remember that when things change tomorrow, we turn within, we breathe, we remember. He does give us a little caveat though, he says. He adds, but the present moment can never provide us with any more joy than we are able to embody right now. Meaning that let's turn within, take everything off the fountain that we've kind of buried it with, just one by one or dozens by dozens, just